Okay, folks, I don't normally get much from the comic book world these days, but when I do, I figure I owe it to you to do a little unboxing video. And so, without further ado, I'll show you what I got in the mail just recently. So, let's get this thing open. I already went and did most of the hard work and heavy lifting of getting the tape off the box. What do we got in here? Well, it looks like we've got 3 trade paperbacks. Now, the first one of those is a reprint volume. And that reprint volume is, let's get this thing off of here. There we go. Oh, what did they do with this? Ah, there we go. All right. So first reprint volume is Captain America, Epic Collection number 5, The Secret Empire. I have never read the Secret Empire story, although I kind of know how it ends because, you know, these days so many spoilers have been around. And apparently, judging from the back of the volume, we're also going to see some of Captain America in perhaps his first round of Nomad days. So this is the 5th volume in the Captain America series. I love the Epic Collections because they have a tendency to collect not just Captain America, or like this would contain not just Captain America, but it would also contain other important issues from other comics that Captain America had been in during this particular run of Captain America. Now, as it happens, this contains Captain America 160 through 179. That's about 19 issues, and it doesn't have anything else in it, but that should be more than enough. They usually fit about roughly around 20 issues in these books. So, actually, that is 20 because 160 all the way to 179. Yeah, that's 20 issues. So yeah, this is the very first Secret Empire arc. You might remember famously, Marvel just had a recent arc called Secret Empire because it's gotten to the part where even in the comic book world, Marvel can't help but rehash old material. I mean, they had to do Civil War II when Captain America Civil War came out, and then later on they did another Secret Empire arc, which basically dealt with the culmination of Nick Spencer's arc in which Captain America had been impacted by the Cosmic Cube and turned into basically a Nazi from another dimension. So, of course, that all got rectified. But, and I think Ta-Nehisi Coates' run on Captain America actually did away with the Captain America who was the Secret Empire Captain America. That's kind of disappointing if true. I hope that Marvel has seen fit to preserve him in some way, shape, or form. But anyway, Captain America, The Secret Empire is my latest reprint volume. I'm looking forward to several more Epic Collections. If you look on, I think there's a Wikipedia entry or some other kind of entry. Just type in Marvel Epic Collections, go online, and you can find a list of what's coming out. And they just dropped a whole bunch of different things. I think the 10th volume of Incredible Hulk just dropped, and the 11th volume of Avengers dropped. I think the 2nd volume of Guardians of the Galaxy dropped, and that one, I didn't realize how little old Guardians of the Galaxy material there actually was, and some of it's going to be like shared between Avengers and Guardians of the Galaxy. I think there's a couple others out there, so go take a look and make sure you're updated. The other 2 items are from the same title, and I just stumbled across this because the 2nd volume came out, and I was like, this is strange. I don't know. I've never heard of this. Peter Krause I've heard of, but I haven't heard of this title called My Bad. It's a title called My Bad. And it's a very, very humorous title about superhero antics. So let's take a look at the very first page of this. But to give you an idea of kind of a superhero comedic deconstruction of just superheroing in general. So you have the first page. Where is that? Yeah. So you see this this dimly lit page. Just another night in Gravel City, a city which dwells in darkness, due in large part to budget cuts in public lighting, but also, because of crime. I just like that kind of humor. And this whole thing apparently is just chock full of that kind of comedic style. But Volume 2 just recently was released. And it was like the first issue of this offered like the death of Spider-Man, and I was like, the death of Spider-Man? Are they even allowed to do that in a independent comic? And it turned out it was like some guy named Mort Spider-Man. And it wasn't like the Marvel Spider-Man at all. It was just a guy with the same last name, or a guy with a last name of like Spiderman or Spider-Man. And I just thought that was hilarious. So I read a few pages and I thought, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and get this. I have ever since I wound up having to go back for volumes that I had missed, for comic books that I'd missed. I have a very, very high sense of buy now and regret it later. I've been very, very fortunate that I have been able to completely, fill up my complete collection of most everything that I want. I'm still looking for various epic collections from Marvel and maybe a few reprint volumes here or there for some current stuff. But for the most part, I have all the comic books that I want. The one exception to that I hope that Marvel will rectify someday is to do a second printing of Adam, Legend of the Blue Marvel. Now that's famously the introduction of Dr. Adam Brazier. It was done by Kevin Grievous and Matt Broom, and it featured a superhero from back in the 50s and 60s who had to go underground because the world found out he was black, or the government found out he was black and just didn't want there to be the most prominent, powerful superhero in the Marvel universe. They didn't want that person to be black, and so he had to go underground. And so it deals with his struggles. It deals with his coming back into the limelight. And I never paid too much attention to that. I had the opportunity to get that volume for like a discount for like $10. And I passed it up because I thought, well, it's just a one-shot limited series. I had no idea that Al Ewing, who is a British author, a white British author, by the way, but who's very interested in the black characters of the Marvel Universe, he went and he brought together the team of the Ultimates, and he included Dr. Adam Brazier in that. And he also had Adam Brazier appear, I think, in some issues of maybe New Avengers or something like that. But he brought Adam Brazier back into the limelight, and I was like, oh well, let me go back and find a volume of it, and now I can't. And it's like $100 to like buy this thing if you can find it like on eBay or something. So I'm really thinking Marvel owes us at this point a second printing of that Adam Legend of the Blue Marvel. Really would like to have a solid physical specimen in my collection, because I have the Kindle version. I went ahead and I bought that. In fact, one time Marvel was just basically giving it away for Black History Month, but they've never reprinted it. So that is what I'd really like to see from Marvel. I mean, if they could do that for this year, that Christmas would come early and all that, I just really would like to see that done. So I don't know what's holding them up. I even asked Kevin Grievous about it. He says, I don't know. So anyway, that's all for now. That was just my unboxing. I wanted to show you what I had come in. Most likely the latest the next unboxings that I will be doing will be of independent comics like Ethan Van Sciver with Cyberfrog, his Wrecked Planet, Salem Android Death Sting, Cyberfrog Deleted Scenes, as well as Cyberfrog Heartsick Horror. I'm expecting all of those to come in a single package. And not only that, but Eric July's I Saw Number 2 will be coming out, and I will be getting 2 copies of it, just like last time, one to read and one to destroy for scans. And of course, I will, make sure that you are privy to watching me destroy one of the copies for scans. Although here's the problem with that, though. I don't want to wait until I've destroyed the entire comic before I read the entire comic, because I'd wind up spoiling things for myself. And then if I read through and wait until the end, I'm going before I destroy and cannibalize the other comic for scans, it's going to be forever before I get any commentary out. So I think what I'm going to wind up having to do is I'm going to get my 2 copies of the comic, and then one I'm going to start reading, and then the other I'm going to start destroying just as a regular thing. So you may actually see me taking apart ISOM number 2 page by page as I go through, and over the course of several videos, as opposed to in a massive live stream like I did just recently with the copy of ISOM number 1 that I destroyed. That I cannibalized for scans, which I still haven't scanned, by the way. I mean, I'm not really looking forward to standing in front of the printer and standing in front of my printer and having to scan in this 90 pages of stuff, but I'm going to have to. I promised myself that I would, so I may do that either tonight or tomorrow sometime. Anyway, all right, I'm Mike Bartica. Thank you for watching, and I will talk to you later.